Good morning, everyone. Seemed a little confusing here to me this morning as to what to do. This market refusing to go down. And why should it? Well, the weekly chart, which I want to take a look at this morning. Let's put this up here for now. Clearly a downtrend, up at resistance. Momentum stalled last week. And, buyers, it didn't go down yesterday at the end of the day, and so I guess there was some short covering. And so now we got what looks like a consolidation going on. So from this time perspective, on this particular chart, it just says stand aside. So there are individual stocks that they're not saying the same thing. So, but that's the dilemma in a sense of that we have a market set up to do one thing, but go down because of the downtrend. It doesn't mean, well, until we have something decisively happen here, like break under these lows, like I said, it's a stand aside type of situation. And as I look at this consolidation and the buyers continuing to set up, what if it pops up here and has a last gas move up? Which of course is in the realm of possibilities, which makes it very difficult right now from a market perspective, to commit. And so there is no commitment. So it shouldn't be difficult, but, I'm telling you what's in my mind here, try to explain the situation as I see it here. So the short answer is do nothing, stand aside. If it was to break out here, you know what you're dealing with. How much can it go up? It could conceivably go up a lot. It could be a measured move to the upside. We'll see. So if it clears here, is it a potential breakout failure, or does it run? It's the unknown with everything, right? So if it breaks below here, that's the more convincing, obvious, go with type of situation because of the downtrend on the weekly. This bar is still, in the process of completing itself. So we don't know what it's going to do. And again, leads to a difficult situation. Pre-market, nothing really going on here. Really doesn't need to look at anything per se because there's no pattern with this consolidation, just trading inside of yesterday's range for the moment. And Q's the same thing. It's more at the bottom of the range, a little bit more red on the weekly. It's in a downtrend. It's at resistance. The candles are holding the upper half of the weekly candle. Well, Frank, I think what you're saying is it's holding the upper half of this bar here, if that's what you mean. I'm not sure, but it's after moving multiple weeks up into a red bar. It's not the same as saying here's a big red bar that's an event, right? A big ugly red down bar within a downtrend, and it's holding the lower half. So it's not exactly the same where we have price action in alignment with a bias that's based on the trend, right? Whereas here, yes, it is holding the upper half of this green bar, but it's in a situation where the bias is it should roll over just based on basic trend analysis. That being said, this sideways move at the moment, this bottoming tail bar, and so on is telling us that buyers continue to step up here. And we looked at internals yesterday, whereas our sentiment internal is not giving us a sell signal yet, but it's pretty darn close. And breadth is already diverging. So we're in a touch and go type of situation here as we look at this setup as to we don't really know. We got red bars being ignored. We got green bars that don't follow through. And leads us back to the same situation. If I was trading this, I'm not doing anything. What MA is the blue line? 20-period moving average, LaDon. Dow, same thing. Right. So here we've got a wide range bar, right? An obvious wide range bar that just jumps out at us as such, rather than, the other one was kind of a little wide, but about the same. So a wide range bar after multiple bars up into resistance within a downtrend. Momentum stalls. We're looking for it to go lower. It just isn't happening yet. Okay. Don't you think that the 20 MA and the 50 MA on ES provide strong resistance? Well, they're, let's say, obvious reference points as far as, support. I don't look at them as such, Alex, meaning, everything we put on the chart other than price, as you know, my point of view is subjective. And I wrote in the letter the fact that these indices that got above the 50-period moving average is a positive event because it's a widely followed moving average. That being said, is it really a reference point of support? No, it's just a line that moves based on the price action. It's not real support. That being said, institutions that look at it as such or look at it as a bias, they are looking at this and saying, hey, that's a positive event. The 200 event, the 200-period movement is lurking above. What do I do? They're going to come to the same conclusion that I'm explaining right now based on a moving average point of view. What do? I don't know. They also know that the weekly trend is down. So things are conflicted here, and it's a wait and see who's going to win the battle. And the battle here is one in which if it breaks out, it because of the downtrend, is a high probability to be a breakout failure. But there are crazy situations that maybe could go up. And I pointed this out in the letter that there's a void up here. And I also pointed out that sentiment not being at an extreme, that maybe it could continue to run. So we're open to that, even though the weekly is in a downtrend, but the higher probability scenario because of the weekly is that it goes down. It's just not happening yet. So I'm confused, confused in that I want something to happen, based on what I've said, but it's not happening. So let me maybe say, rather than confused, I'm becoming impatient with a resolution to which way is it going to go. Have no choice. We're waiting. That's whatever it is what we say. Bonds here are chopping around. They've had this deep retracement. They broke out above the highs here. And that is potentially a bearish situation where, bonds did get above these highs. And if this resolves itself to the upside here and yields come down, well, that rekindles the, the yield curve inversion scenario. Can Boeing lift the market tomorrow after its earnings report? Michael, change to panelists and attendees, all panelists and attendees. Look, we have a lot of earnings coming out. So while Boeing could be positive, Apple's coming, Microsoft's coming, they could be negative or vice versa, or everything be positive. And, so it doesn't lead us to a different conclusion as to what I'm explaining in the market, because they haven't reported yet, and it's an unknown. I'll have to read that article, when we get to it. So you're going to want to keep an eye on bonds here, and you could use TLT as a reference if you don't have the futures, as a potential guide as to what the market might do, because if they break out above this level, it's probably going to be bearish for the equity markets and vice versa if it goes down. Oil sideways here, actually holding up. Was it American Airlines yesterday went on a tear by itself? we looked at other airlines. They looked okay, but they didn't do this. So that looks like it can go higher. Maybe just because, I don't know. Oil's come up a lot. I don't know what's going on with airlines here. I'm not trading them. Yes. And Gustav was in this as well, Dan. Gold breaking out. Looks good. I don't get it either as far as this goes. Why is gold going up? Maybe holiday time, demand for gold. Maybe the jawboning of the president that the Fed should back off, and that's going to lead to inflation. I don't know. What can I say? I missed any of this, so do I really care what it's doing? No, because I'm not participating in it, but we report on it for those that may be. So it looks good. Wide range bar. It cleared the highs here. It's got room to go up. It looks like it'll continue to go up. And, we've got different gappers. I've got a few on my list. So this one here may trigger long. So market aside, here's a stock in a nice uptrend. THS, some food company. Never heard of it before, but I was through one of the scans. And we've got a pullback here. And, if it can clear these highs here, I got an alert set. We'll see if it can click off. I didn't check. Earnings are 214. And Roku. Maybe we're going to buy this one out of the gate here.
Yeah, that was strong yesterday.
The 200's lurking up there. It's in a downtrend. There's really nothing up above. It's consolidating here at, actually cleared this resistance. So the 200, here's a situation where the 200, while, anybody looking at a chart probably knows that it's there, but and it may stall there, but it's meaningless as far as the price action or resistance. But it's a line that many are going to know. But this looks great. It went down yesterday. It gapped down. It went down and it came back up again. So I think whether we wait 5 minutes or we could let it take out the pre-market high and then buy it and put a stop under yesterday's low. Hog is down. I don't know why Square is down. Hog reported. AGN is getting taken out to the woodshed, as we say. Triple M, as you can see, is up. And, Dan will cover whatever else that might be moving here. But Square, I don't know if they reported or not, but that's down as well. And our AMD that we had last week got shellacked in the morning. And but other semiconductors came ripping back. So, there's a nasty gap down to the low of this bottoming tail bar, and it came all the way back, and it's up this morning. So semiconductors look good. And that's a fly in the ointment of the bear case, is that, semiconductors look like they can go higher, and financials, they're holding up. So, while, the market is in that downtrend and stalled, as explained, it's not so clear that everything's firing on all cylinders for them to make this market go down. So we'll see what happens. All yours, Dan.
All right, thanks. Good morning, all. As always, let's see what we got in the open department. Hey, good morning, LaDon. And I guess, LaDon, I just emailed you back that I'll look at your research. I'm traveling home today, so I'm going to have to actually leave early this morning, and I will read it on the airplane. So we have these spiders and calls, spider and Q's bear call credit spreads that expire this Friday. J&J, we have a half a lot of a bear call credit spread that Actually, I better check the stop. It might have triggered it into the close, but it's at a profit nevertheless. MDB, we have an iron condor. Disney, we're short stock with a tightened stop. Costco, we covered half at the low yesterday. Short stock. Tandem, still a 25% lot. Okay, yeah, J&J did. All right, I'll update that. Thanks. 25% of a covered call. We did it. Remember, we did a video on this? Remember? Right at the high, we said, let's analyze this. Should we do it or not? We went through the math, the market, and we said, yep, let's do it. AGM 151. It's kind of a big gap, but depending on how it sets up, it could be either a call spread or even a condor. ALV 79 bucks. That's a bearish gap, but there's no price void. It looks like it trades like a ADR. Square 72.5 is bearish. Need to see how it sets up. GME getting whacked, 12 bucks, way the heck down here. Now that's an excessive gap to me. I mean, look at this weekly. That's a big range. If it can take out a 30-minute high, I'm inclined to sell a put spread. Verizon, we were short stock and covered the back half into the close because we didn't want to hold into earnings. 53, so it's a big gap down near this prior low. We'll see if buyers step up, and it could be a put spread. Pfizer, I guess that had earnings gap down and is working on churning the base. Now this would be a great setup for a gap in snap if it were to gap down like 10%. Those are fluid moves down. It'd be better, of course, if there was support to the left. But, you know, I'm just talking. It's not that set up because it's churning back right now. Triple M, yeah, I put that in the upper right thumbnail right here because it was a very bullish gap over this, 199 this morning. So remember, LaDon, on our AAL, bullish or bearish gap on the daily with a price void is step 1. Step 2, I want a compelling pre-market and post-market setup. And right now, this triple M it's not. It's slopping around. Compare that to this beautifulness. AAL, where were you? Right here. This was the earnings day, pre-market, bullish pre-market. That was beautifulness, but then it got sloppy. LMT, 282, and look at it, it's sloppy, but let's mark it off, 282, I can eyeball it right here. I need more information. Hog, 33 and change, bearish. That's a big gap. That might be able to be traded up or down, 30-minute high, low. GLW, 3260. It's too excessive, so it's not a tier 1 for me. Trader, we looked at Triple M already. HRS, 149.50. It's excessive for me. Nothing to do. Rockwell, 175.50. It's excessive. I got no setup yet. See, I'm only focused on what I do on these gaps. I'm wanting to see if I have a tier 1 immediate interest, in which case I'll put them on a 5-minute thumbnail, because I think I might want to get on board in the first 5 or 10 minutes. If there's no great pattern where I say, let's come back and look at it at 30 minutes, I leave it in my minder. And then there's a category of, I have no interest, and I just delete you, and I don't want to be bothered with you. Short iron butterfly. So just for those who don't know what a butterfly is. Ooh, I'm not quite sure what made you do that. But an iron fly is just it's a short out of the money. No, it's not out of the money. It's short a call spread and a put spread, with the short strike being the same strike. Bib 327. It's a call spread candidate, but with this powerful move up, the chart suggests it really shouldn't come below these two moving averages. And I say that not because they're magical, but because of retracement concepts. Whirlpool had earnings 117. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm going to put Whirlpool in this one. That's nice on the bearish side, right? It's gapping under this pivot, and there's a price void. So this could be a day trade short and a call spread. And I just know from experience, Whirlpool, the options are going to be ludicrous until, at least half hour or so. Oh, I forgot to write on my list here. Of open positions, we got Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, we sold a put spread, and also in our ETF trader, we're long. JD, the old JD. It was a 1, 2, 3 when I was looking at it yesterday morning, but you can tell by the tail, it kept going. And we'll keep an eye on him for a few days. I think Cindy found this for us yesterday, and it's multiple time frame alignment, daily, weekly, monthly, are all bullish, but I just didn't like the 3 up bars at resistance. I would prefer a 1, 2, 3 or sideways consolidation, but that one is worth keeping on my list. Right. No, I get that, Gustav, the volatility, crash, crunch, whatever. But did you have a bias on the chart? Because when you do an iron fly, that's a neutral, no bias trade, right? Here's NVIDIA yesterday. We'll just keep an eye on him. DHR. If that gap, well, it's tier 2. I don't know what to do with that. DOV 85. The gap's too big in its resistance. So tier 2, let's come back to them later. mTOR. It's a bearish gap